also request that the HLC stop this process of subdividing the property into parcels with the intent to develop the property. These two actions, I say, will create an economic hardship in preserving this intact historic property. Its current zoning, honestly, is the only thing that's going to be left to protect it. In 2014, Margaret turned to the HLC to protect and preserve her home and have it designated as a historical property. She wasn't just protecting the house or the barn, she was protecting everything. It states it also in her obituary, for those that want to read it. She cherished that land and she wanted to protect it for the long term. And the property, I will state this, is historic with that house and barn and its proximity to the town of Matthews. You don't see that that often. The second piece to that is the house and barn are more historic in terms of the property. They belong together and they have a historical relationship. They have a historic relationship. Together, they're a living example of the time gone by. Dan, you've spoken to from the paper the other day, the intact lot, house, and outbuildings physically demonstrate how daily life was conducted in Matthews. The ordinance that they signed, that they went into, the covenant with you guys, and the HLC states in section 2, it talks about the historic property, the house, the interior, the exterior, the interior, exterior of the barn, which are all important. But then it makes a statement. It says the architectural features of the outbuildings, and that includes that original chicken coop and the contours of landscaping. Folks, that's the garden and the vacant lot beside there, or what used back then was as a pasture. So she had her home property protected, so she thought January 16th and January 2016, Debbie and I went to the meeting, to an HLC meeting, to have an understanding what that process is. How do you become the property owner and what the requirements were for maintaining the property. During that meeting, after the meeting, I'm told, it's going to be political. Town wants to have a voice, and that makes sense. Also, that there was going to be a consultant engaged into the direction of the meeting, into the property. Well, in the March meetings from the HLC, it really states what that purpose was, and the plan was for the commission and the town to build a community consensus to establish parameters of any buyer. And then it makes an interesting statement. The request for proposals would be submitted to developers. On October 20th, they started having public meetings. 17 people, actually it's 18 people on the minutes listed for the first meeting, and another 17 for the second meeting. And they come together and decide that, the infield is the direction they're going to go, or they want to go. They're actually going to show you a voting tabulation that says 13 people say preserve it, 33 people say infill and develop the property. Well, that's 46. There's 35 people at the meeting, so I'll be interested to see where that comes from, but there's a total tabulation of votes of 59. All that stuff kind of is a little bit confusing to me, but I'm sure we're going to get that cleared up. The last thing of a big concern to me was the whole time I was told no proposals were going to be brought forward and accepted from the commission. On January 13th, the number one agenda on a special meeting is the consideration of a prospective purchase of the Phillips and Morris barn. So it is brought under consideration. The reality is, Mayor, I want to say thank you, because I know you went to the meeting and you did advise them that they should not go forward with that proposal. And the fact is, guys, you're going to save the house and you're going to save the barn. And those things are very, very important. But, the fact is the Nancy Reed Garden is going to grow. It'll be pretty. The Historic Foundation does a wonderful job with that property. The garden will be expanded, I'm sure, and some developers are going to be real happy with building on that piece of property, on that parcel that's out there. But there's other pieces right down the street, right, that we can do. In fact, Margaret and Mary Louise deserve better. I think the town of Matthews deserves better, and I know I deserve better. I want to stop, and I'll close this out. Joni Mitchell wrote a song in 1970 called Big Yellow Taxi, and all the rights go to Sony. It goes like this. A paved paradise and put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? Paved paradise and put up a parking lot. Well, they took all the trees and they put them in a tree museum or a barn museum, and they charged the people $1.50 to see them. You don't always seem to go that you don't know what you got until it's gone. They paved paradise and put up a parking lot. I request that you take that into consideration, that we do have a jewel in the middle of town. And there are those of us, and I'm not the only one, who state that, you know what, we're willing to do what it takes
not
You don't,
surprised.
yeah.
I just want to make sure that it was clarified that. So thank you very much, and I appreciate your comments.